Okay, we're going to go ahead and do an extraction of tooth number 19 with, oh, there's our guy right there. Tooth number 19, we've got previous root canal, we've got a vertical root fracture. We're going to be removing it, placing some bone grafting and membrane material with 5/0 sutures. Got our little membrane soaking here in the minocycline saline. We've got our 5/0 here. We've got our bone soaking in here. When we soak the bone, we actually soak it in the water completely. So we pull the water up in completely like that. We want it soaking in the water the whole time. Okay. Profound anesthetic is achieved by confirming that the mesial papilla on the facial and lingual of the canine is not feeling anything sharp. So I'm going to ask the specific question. Does that feel sharp there? Correct? Okay. And does that feel sharp? Great. Okay. So that means that the IA is numb, and then because we did a buccal infiltration, I also did a lingual infiltration, and we have profound anesthesia, which is exactly what we want. Okay. Let's switch out to get a little bite pillow in here to hold things nice and steady for us. Open a little bit bigger. Great. And relax down on that. Good. Okay. So first step here, Donatello. Gonna get a nice facial flap.
You have the
Donatello? No. No. It's the blade, the 15 blade.
Oh.
Yep. Very good. Okay. That's all right. You're still learning these instruments. The story why we call this Donatello is not a good one. It's a sad story where I mixed up the Ninja Turtles. I was thinking, I was like, oh yeah, Donatello's the Ninja Turtle with the swords, and it's like a little sword, and then after we named it that once or twice, I was like, oh no, Donatello's the one with the bow staff. Leonardo's the one with the swords. So, but the name already stuck, so I just have to live in shame the rest of my life because I misnamed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Chin support. Just right down there, right on the edge, not underneath the chin. We don't go underneath the chin, just right at the tip there. Just right at the tip. That's great. Got a crown on this tooth here, crown on this tooth here, so I'm not going to really wedge too much here, just a little bit of a sprinkle there. Okay. And then we're going to go straight to the cow horns. If this is a natural tooth, I might brace it against it a little bit more, but I'm not going to. We're going to go straight to the cow horns. Okay. Grab in between the furcation water pump, and the crown is likely to break off before the tooth comes out. So I'm squeezing and water pumping, and I hear that little crunchy munchy there. Just a lot of little pieces from that. Okay. That's what we expect. No surprises there. Okay. Alright, I'm going to finish the sectioning of the roots here. Suction. Going about 3/4 of the length of the root, creating separation between the roots here so that they can slide in. Now as I do this rotation here, we have room for that mesial to move. Gentle pressure. Gentle pressure. Shifted all the way across that space there. So, got upper forceps, which makes this a little more exciting. So let's go ahead and grab the lower forceps. Exactly, yeah, the lower ones have that full curve to them, suction. That lingual doesn't really have much to grab there, so I'm going to shift to the periosteal here and see if I can shift him out. Suction. Just not quite enough to grab onto. So I'm going to go ahead and section down the mesial. And remember that the tooth is a little bit angled. The apex is a little bit angled more to the facial. Okay, so at about a 20-degree angle to section through this root here. Separate it with the iron there. Good. More root tips in there. We'll come to that in just a minute. Okay, come to the back side of this one here. A little rotation. There's enough to grab. There may or may not. Okay. Let's see. Distal root. Go and grab us the root tip pick here. got the little root tips left on this mesial guy. It's a little bit bulbous on the end, that's why I didn't want to release, so I want to remove a little bit more distal to that mesial root. Use a root tip pick. I did a little bit of a notch on that mesial there. Let's see if we can wiggle the rest of that guy out. Okay. Not quite enough to grab onto here, so we're going to do a little more sectioning down through the root. So we section through the root, and there's a root tip pick here to kind of grab at that sectioning point. There we go. Comes out real clean there. So now we're going to finish just cleaning up the granulation tissue that's in here. If there's a lot, you'd switch to the serrated curette. But there's not a lot down at the apex. It's more up near the. It's more up near the top. Right there is where the initial abscess kind of came out on the buckle there. Okay. So we're going to make sure we got our full thickness flap on the buckle there, and then verify our full thickness flap on the lingual. You can just move this flap anywhere you want. It's just a happy little flap. No wrong way to do it. Okay, irrigation. So the irrigation, the secret to the irrigation is that we use our minocycline while irrigating just to get all that goodness in there. Yeah. If we get the graft on the end of it, it doesn't want it to fill up. Okay. Rinse the flap, rinse the flap, rinse down inside. Well, this guy's a bit larger than we need. Our width, front to back, is just right around 10, and this one's 15 wide. So we're going to get him trimmed back here. If you want to be fancy, you can do like an hourglass style, but I don't think we need to bother with that because it will stay in place nicely where we put it. These scissors are awful, of course. Okay. So we put it back in here. I'm going to Hold that. So we got it tucked in on the lingual. That's the hardest side to tuck it in. So we got that tucked in. Also keeps that out of the way a little bit. It's always better to tuck a little further than you need. Okay, now we're going to place the bone graft material. Turn toward me just a little bit more there, Corinne. Good. Okay, take the, so we drain off the rest of the water, compress it out, okay? And then we're going to take off this cap. No cap, that's how we do things. Straight up, no cap. That's what the kids say. Press that in place. Heme in the socket is just fine. This is a ½ cc of material. Don't take that away yet. Keep it with you. Okay, suction. Touch right on top of this guy right here with the suction right on top of that. Good. That's good. Add the last little bit of bone in here. You want to just dome up the bone just a little bit. Don't need to be on crazy pills with how much you put over the top. So even or a little bit higher is great. Get the suture ready. Okay. Tuck this little guy under over here. So it's very tempting to want to snuggle this up super tight. Because it feels like we're like, yeah, make it tight, but you don't want it tight. You want it just sitting passively. Because we don't want to pull all this nice band of keratinized tissue. We don't want to pull this in because that's not where the implant. Hold that right there. Hold that right there. The implant itself, when it goes in, we're going to want that keratinized tissue around the neck of the implant on the facial, and the more the better. So we don't want to eliminate any of that by coronally positioning the flap. So don't do it, Haley. Don't do it. Even though it's tempting. So tempting. Okay. So we're going to do an insertion here, here, and here, 4 spots across. So I'm going to pick in here the 3rd spot. And we're going to do 2 figure 8s. Okay, and same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3rd position here. Dink. Nice. Okay, we do 1, 2, 3 throws. Y3. I just lost one. 1, 2, 3. Because when we tighten it down the first time, it will stay and won't slip around as easily. Okay, and this is where you want to really like pull tight. Don't do it. Don't do it, Haley. So just keep it just so it's just sitting just a little bit snug, and that is it. Should not be pulling that together for primary closure. And then we go back and forth till we've done 3 or 4 of these. Okay, and we're going to trim it with about 3mm ears on these guys. Okay. And the second figure 8, we're going to overlap over the top. And we do 2 figure 8s, so in case one wants to pull through, we're still going to be in good shape. Now you can see how much I took off there. Or how much material there is gripping. It's nice to have about 3mm or more. If you can stay out of the mucosa, that's nice. Hold on to that because that's less likely to Want to pull through when the inflammatory stage kicks in. Okay, I come between these guys now, so that's 1 and 3. So I'm actually going to come right in between these cats here. Do number 2 spot. Then we're going to come over here to the number 4 slot, which is the back papilla area. Above the membrane here. The membrane's super flexible. It's that contour matrix from Implant Direct. Very nice. Flexible. Okay, and then I'm going to come to 4th position on the lingual. Right there. Dink. A little bit further back than that. Not too far. Alright, that'll do. Lovely. Very good. Do we pull this tight?
Mm-hmm.
We don't. That's right.
Don't do it, Haley.
Don't do it, Haley. Just enough till all the slack is taken out. 3 forward throws, 1 back throw. Pull the knot tight. Okay, right there. Well, 3 millimeter snip snap.
Right here.
That's good. A little lower, good. Tasty. Okay. All right. And open for me just a little bit there, Corinne. Good. Okay. Little bone graft flakes there. That's totally fine. Those will kind of dust off in the next little while. Okay. I'm gonna do a little rinse down here. Now, some people like to put periacryl over the top. There's a bunch of different options, but this looks great. This will heal up very nicely. Saliva ejector. All right, go ahead and close your lips down on that. Very good. Okay. And there we go. There's our finish. 2 figure 8s. Not too tight of a membrane. We got full 1/2 cc of bone graft material in there, and the contour matrix over the top, tucked in between those layers. That will heal up swimmingly, and then we're going to take out the stitches in about 2 weeks. And that'll do. Huzzah!